Good day everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be discussing My Hero Academia chapter 328 titled No Man is an Island. Interesting title, and as you notice I did not review chapter 326 and 327 because I felt like those two chapters needed to tie together with something else, and they did in this chapter. So we'll just give a quick run through both of them and then jump into this one. So spoiler warning. 326 was essentially a confrontation between the hero killer Stain and All Might, and this happened at the stack erected for All Might that everyone has been defacing. We've seen it earlier as well in previous chapters. So All Might went to the chapter and Stain showed up, and they had a back and forth conversation, essentially with Stain giving All Might some sort of motivational boost. Because even though he's a hero killer, he seems to admire All Might. So aside from admiring All Might, they have the back and forth motivates him a bit, and he believes by giving him some intel. So that's the gist of 326. 327 now is more of a class 1A chapter, and in this chapter we get Deku being brought back to the dorm, and him and his classmates kind of reuniting. So we see them have a bath, we see them fooling around with Deku, that kind of stuff, and the chapter ends basically on a high note, showing their reconnection. So there's that. Then we jump into 328, and 328 is interesting because we start off with what seems to be a mini flashback of what happened on Tartarus, and we see a weird villain comes out saying they continue capturing females or collecting females. Sus. But this leads to Stain killing him with a piece of glass, and Stain is walking around trying to figure out what's going on, and he says to himself, the fact that Tartarus is destroyed means that outside things are probably going crazy. So we see how Stain got this intel that he gave All Might in 326. He got it from one of the guards in there, and the guard asked him if he's an ally or a killer, and in doing that we get Stain saying yes, he's a beast, but he helps when he needs to help. And we cut to him seeing All for One and Shigaraki standing up in this destruction, and yeah, we get, I guess, Stain looking on, thinking to himself, this is terrifying, I guess. But Stain seems to have a villain mindset, but Stain is an anti-hero. That's the simplest way to put it. Stain seems to be an anti-hero, and he probably will be pushing this going forward, so we may see more of him. But the rest of the chapter, we go through All Might explaining how his vestiges work and what the intel is that Stain gave them. So first of all Might says that the vestiges kind of like him, and how his vestige works two ways when he could talk to the people in his work, but what they talk about, he knows to kind of back and forth. But aside from that, we get the revelation of what the message is, and the message was that Shigaraki will be completed in 38 days. Or make him complete in 38 days. But we see All Might here, and he's like, assuming they discussed this schedule so long ago, because a few weeks have passed since everything went to shit. So he's like, assuming all of that, we have 3 days, 3 whole days only before Tomura is complete. So essentially that whole part of the chapter was them decoding the message and figuring out what it was. And that is, instead of reading all of that, short terms, Shigaraki is going to be complete in 3 days. They need to stop him before that, or he's going to be very, very hard to stop. So there's that. We now cut to what seems to be a giant building, the UN, I believe. In doing so, we see a few people in silhouette speaking about sending their top heroes to help. Sorry if I'm looking at that side because I saw people making noise, so I'm just making sure it doesn't. But yeah, so we get 3 heroes revealed in this UN nation discussion because everyone wants to send someone to help because it's All Might, and All Might is well respected and has links, connections. So one seems to be like an Egyptian pharaoh looking hero. His name is Salam. So that's one. We then get one that looks like a lion called Red Dot, and they are wondering why no one has been here yet to do, or has gone yet to do this task of helping All Might. Because why is there so much red tape? I guess so much things stopping them from going to help a friend. But we then see America, or what seems to be America, saying that their hero has already left, and we cut to the next panel and we see their hero riding on a jet on the way to Japan. And her name is Miss Star. No, not Miss. It's actually Star and Strike. I think in the unofficial it was called Mrs. Stars and Strike, but it looks like a female All Might. Like literally, it looks like a female All Might. So that is interesting. But we see the chapter ends there, and that's pretty cool because now we get all the heroes from the different nations that were mentioned prior coming finally to Japan, and we may get to see different quirks, different, I guess, different aspects of the hero's system or maybe hero beliefs, because we know like how it is in Japan where MHA is set. So now we need to look at how the other heroes across the world look at things. And it's cool that we're seeing top heroes from each country, so we know they have the same type of hero system in place where there's a rank, and number one, of course, being the strongest. So I'm interested to see what All Might's friend or disciple or trainee's quirk is the number one in America. But she looks like a female All Might, so maybe something similar. It would be interesting if she actually has his quirk as well, but I digress on that. We're just here to speculate. But it seems she can't fly, but she's standing on a jet and she looks huge as well. So I'm interested. So yeah, and again going forward, I'm going to assume we're going to get more of Stain as well. Stain, the hero killer, is probably going to pop up throughout this arc, maybe helping some heroes, stopping some bad guys. So yeah, so again, I feel like 326 to 328, all those 3 chapters tied together as one, better than reading each chapter separately, because like I said, we got 326, which delved into this relationship kind of thing that Stain has going with All Might, when he looks up to him but he still hates heroes. And then 327 with Midoriya and his class, and still a bit of Stain, and then this one combining everything together. So the 3 chapters fit together. But I guess in an episode they could probably fit those 3 together, or cut out bits and piece it together to fit well. Because I feel like 327 and 328 might be an episode, and then 326 and 328 might be an episode, and then they could do the Deku thing after, because they switched around episodes for season 5 as well. But I digress. All in all, this was a good chapter. Everything fit well, and I like where the story is heading, but it seems as though we're leading into the series itself ending soon. And it seems like a lot of big manga are heading that way for some reason. But yeah, look forward to next review next week and discussion, and I'll see you all.